Welcome to Tattoo Titans. Here, the best professional tattoo artists from around the country battle each other and the clock as they compete for $10,000.
Big Daddy, let's get this party started.
To get it, they'll have their skills tested in 3 rounds of challenges.
Can't make any mistakes. You have to do it perfect.
Our panel of industry heavyweights and celebrity guests will judge the artist's work.
That's like tattooing saran wrap.
In this battle, 4 tattoo artists will enter, but only one will leave with bragging rights and the cash prize.
The way you put it together was a mess.
Who will take home the $10,000 and the title of Tattoo Titan? First to enter the shop is Doug Anderson from Toms River, New Jersey.
I've been tattooing 6 years professionally, and the styles that I like to do are realism, color realism, portraits, and I like to do a mashup of like graphic art mixed with realism. I spent a year with the infantry in Iraq, and my best friend Sean was doing tattoos. I kind of started to follow his footsteps, you know, I thought it was really cool.
Next to enter the shop is Diane Bazar-White from Las Cruces, New Mexico.
I've been tattooing almost 9 years. For the most part, I'm pretty self-taught. The styles I prefer to do are realism. I also do color work, portraits. Black and gray is a style I love. One of the things I want to prove by being here is that women tattooers are just as capable as any men.
Next into the shop is Nathan Cox from Flagler Beach, Florida.
I've been tattooing for 10 years. My favorite style is realism, traditional, hyper-realism, and new school. Tattooing has changed my life in so many ways. It's really brought me out of my shell. I just want to prove that I know what I'm doing, and I'm one of the best in my area.
And our final artist, Rex Wiltshire from Richmond, Virginia.
I've been tattooing for 13 years. Styles I like to do are new school, like to do old school, like to do black and gray work, color bombing, big into pinups. I started late in life tattooing, and I just wanted to show people that, you know, you're never too old to get into something you love. And I love a tattoo.
Artists, you'll be competing in 3 rounds: Skin's Choice, Artist's Choice, and Judge's Choice. Now, let's meet the judges. First up, Maya Bailey. Some of the biggest names in the world of sports and hip-hop come to Maya Bailey's Atlanta tattoo shop, City of Ink, to get their work done. Our special guest judge, Amy Dumas, is considered one of the greatest WWE divas of all time, and is her love for ink on her sleeve. Ami James. Besides owning the world-famous tattoo parlor Love Hate Tattoos, Ami James also starred on the hit show Miami Ink.
I see Ami James sitting there, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm afraid this guy is going to end up tearing my ass apart.
All your skins are people who want a tattoo that represents their love for country music. In each of your tattoo cases, you will find a personal item your skin has left for you. Your challenge is to use that item as the centerpiece for your tattoo design. You will have a total of 3 hours to sketch your design and complete your tattoo. Artists, please open your cases. Okay, artists, your items are a ring, a fiddle, a cowboy boot, and a train.
I hate tattooing mechanical objects. Something that's hard, solid, rigid. Perfect words to describe a train. Also perfect words to describe a terrible tattoo.
Artists, your time starts now. Skins, come on in.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I'm Karana.
Doug, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What exactly are you thinking? You have any ideas?
I'd like to maybe have the train from the front.
Yeah, I was thinking the front's probably gonna work good because it's the most interesting angle, you know?
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
The song is This Train is Bound for Glory, and I have a train. And this song is kind of like about a train to heaven, you know, a train bound for glory.
Yeah.
So the best idea I have is let's do a train, and then let's have some sort of angelic influence in there. And the first thing that pops into my brain that goes along those lines and sticks with heaven is angel wings. You're cool with that?
Yeah.
Hey, cool.
Hey, Rush. Nathan, nice to meet you, Rush. Nice to meet you. And I have The Devil Went Down to Georgia by Charlie Daniels Band. It's actually one of my favorite older country songs. I got a great idea. I'm ready to go. How about a gold fiddle with flames around it? That sounds great. Fantastic. Dude, this is going to be fun, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Diane.
Hi, Amber. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Tell me about this. Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Okay, the cowboy boot is my dad's. That's what the whole thing is.
Okay.
He wears cowboy boots everywhere he goes and cowboy hats everywhere he goes, and this is one of his favorite.
Okay. I know in the song it talks about like whiskey and, you know, $100 bills, so maybe like adding like a shot of whiskey like towards the front of the boot or something.
Sure.
Hey, I'm Rex.
Hi, I'm Sasha.
Sasha, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I sing Ring of Fire, and I go, this is going to be, you know, simple tattoo.
Well, it was my dad's wedding ring to my mom. Plus, I want, like, Day of the Dead couple. Like, you know how love is, how treacherous it is? That's what the Ring of Fire means to me. That's kind of what I want to portray into my tattoo.
And then she starts going into, you know, adding, you know, things other than the ring. And I start looking at the ring, and I'm going, this may not be that easy.
So I head to the computer to get some reference for the train, and I want one on like a 3/4 perspective because that's always more interesting. I love these old trains, they're so cool. I'm so worried about the time that I decide I'm not gonna draw in the wings. I'm gonna freehand the smoke on you just so we can make sure it's gonna look cool sitting on you, okay? If I have enough time left over, all right, there you go. Then I'll add in the wings. Okay?
Yep. Okay, is it important to have this exact move?
You don't have to exactly, like, if this is
Right,
way
yeah.
too much to put, I know what you mean.
So I start my drawing and it's going pretty smoothly. We're working out all the little kinks where things are supposed to be. I want the detail, you know what I mean? I don't want to like give you a...
That's cool.
She wants the tattoo on her thigh. She also has another tattoo that's on the top of her thigh, so we're kind of working with in space limits. You like where it is?
Yeah, that's perfect.
I'm a little nervous about that, but it still fits in the area.
Come on over here, my bed. First thing I do is dig up a reference for a violin or fiddle. Then he proceeds to tell me that he has a genetic, I don't want to say defect.
My skin is like really, it stretches.
What am I gonna do with this? This is gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be like tattooing on a tire.
Let's go.
The first thing I do is, as I decide, I'm going to draw the ring. I'm sitting there, you know, with the ring, and I say, and I've got this idea in my head, and I go, why don't we take the ring, we'll make the ring large, and then put the two skulls over top of it. Like, make it look like fire, but then we'll put music notes, some hearts in there and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Awesome.
Yeah, well, that's... Yay! We can add flames to the background so that we get the fire, and then we can add some musical notes into the flames, and she's cool with it. All right, let's do it. Let's have some fun.
Yay!
Let's see what we got going on here. The fiddle. It's gigantic leg of yours, man.
You gotta see what this kid can do.
Good thing. What can he do?
Show him.
What you got?
You know
Holy
how hard it is to tattoo on him?
crap. Let me see that. Can I pull on that?
Yeah,
What is that?
yeah,
Is that
pull it
for real?
hard.
I've
Hold
never
on.
tattooed skin like that.
Yeah.
It's hard, man.
That's like tattooing saran wrap.
Yeah.
It's been a challenge, that's for damn sure.
Damn. All right. Good luck, and see you in a bit.
Thank you, sir.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Is there a reason you're not using an outline around that hat?
I'll add definition.
You know, outline will hold that tattoo together forever.
It will still have enough contrast that it'll hold together.
Oh, I'm glad you're teaching me something. It's
I'm
cool.
glad so too.
Oh, it's very nice of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'll see you in a bit.
Ami's visit's definitely intense. I tried to listen. All I can do is cross my fingers and hope that it goes well.
What's up, man?
How's it going? Wow, you're really going for it here.
Trying, man.
Do you go back in and then add some line work at the end, or?
Ami had a spat with Diane about outlines. And I looked down at my tattoo and I'm like, oh, guess who also doesn't have any outline? How am I gonna make this tattoo presentable to the judges in a style that they're gonna respect?
Good luck, everybody.
With 1 hour left, I've still got the female skull to do. I've done the male skull, and I'm not happy with it. And I've got to move to this female skull. She's got all this hair, and I'm like, oh, golly, I've got to fill in all this hair.
I start drawing the wings. I have very little time left. I'm terrified. At this point, I'm gonna draw on these wings and probably tattoo one of them, and this poor girl's gonna walk around with a train in half of a wing.
Well, you have 30 minutes until the time's up.
I am doing the finishing touches and just really fine-tuning it.
The strings didn't turn out quite as well as I wanted them to. And this is a contest. There's a lot at stake. I still think there's more that could have been done.
With minutes left, I'm trying to put white in there, do some highlights in there, and it's just not looking like I want it to look.
It's killing me. I'm looking at it and I'm not happy with the wings. So that kind of scares me a little bit.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, machines down. Artists, your skins were all people that wanted tattoos that showed off their love for country music. The judges have all had a chance to review your tattoos, but before you hear from them, they want to hear from you. Nathan, your skin wanted a fiddle in his tattoo to represent The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Please tell the judges about your work.
I chose to mix color and black and gray. I brought some of the flame over top of the fiddle and behind it to give it a sense of depth. Tried to get as much contrast in there as I could.
I'm from Georgia. Very familiar with When the Devil Went Down to Georgia. Your interpretation it's subjective, but I'd love to see some rosined up crossbows or, or something that's just adding a little more ominous feel to it.
Got it.
When I'm thinking the devil, comes to Georgia, I'm thinking like really devilish and really burnt up. You almost lost it with it's almost too pretty, almost.
Okay.
It's a good tattoo, and the elasticity of that guy's skin, man, let me tell you, never seen anything like that.
Yeah, me neither.
You did an amazing job for the saran wrap you just tattooed. But I look at this tattoo and I say, all right, what do you do with the strings?
I don't like the strings. I was not happy with the strings, and I was afraid that if I overworked it or overthought it, that I would actually ruin the whole tattoo by trying to do all the strings in as much detail as possible.
I'm always about shortcuts and tricks, and so,
I knew I liked you for a reason, man.
Diane, your skin wanted a boot in her tattoo to represent the song Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy.
Even though the song's really fun and kind of dirty, we didn't want to go a dirty direction because that's kind of weird as a tribute to your dad. So we put in the whiskey since that's also in the song, and I tried to do the best I could.
Couple things. I love your light sources on the hat. I think they really pop. Contrast just down here, it just seems to get a little convoluted when you go back to like composition 101, like drawing a fruit bowl,
right.
like placing things a little bit more interestingly. But I appreciate your detail work and trying to class up that song as a tribute to her father. Good job on that.
Thank you.
Professor Diane.
Hello.
I'll call you Professor from now on. That's the nickname you've earned. The best part of this tattoo is what? Tell me the best part of this tattoo. What do you like?
The hat.
What do you like?
The hat.
What do you like the hat? You know why? Because you listen. That's why I told you. Because you got 3 tattoo artists that would all point in one thing that's done perfectly on this tattoo is the hat. But I tell you what, contrast is the biggest problem in this tattoo. Never put a boot and another boot in the same shape, because 2 years from now, it's gonna look like one boot.
I probably would have knocked one of the boots over, and maybe you can see part of the boot coming out of here, coming out of here, and then you can see a little bit of part of the boot from the front, and did it that angle.
So, Professor.
Yes.
What grade would you give this tattoo now?
Probably a B-.
Well, I hope that a B- gets you to the next round.
Rex, your skin wanted a ring in her tattoo to represent the song Ring of Fire. Please tell the judges about your tattoo.
Basically, she had that ring, the ring down at the bottom is the ring that she gave me. It had a lot of little detail in it. She wanted that detail in it. Then she wanted the sugar skulls, and that's what it came out to.
How's it going?
Go ahead.
All right. I think you're the only one that didn't take just the item and tattooed just the item, and there's something to be said for the overall concept. The absence of ink sometimes is just as important as the spots that you have inked. And it seems like a little full, a little dark. The skulls themselves get kind of congested.
You went really detailed down in this part right here. Yeah. It's really detailed out. And if I didn't see the ring, I would not know what that is.
To give you some ideas of what I would do is...
It's hard. I didn't even see that.
something that's inspirational. This is what this competition is about, inspiration. And you could have done something really cool and creative that would have been easier, as though your thought was very creative. The way you put it together was a mess.
Doug, your skin wanted a train engine in her tattoo to represent the song Trains Bound for Glory. Please tell the judges about your work.
She wanted a Trains Bound for Glory. The only thing that worried me about that is it's kind of a tough design, so I wanted something to soften it up and to also tell the story of the song. And the wings will kind of, you know, exemplify heaven, heading the glory. So that's what we came up with.
I'm almost looking at the tattoo like divided in half. Where the beginning is and where the smoke is, I feel like it has more of a direction. And then I feel like everything over here is just kind of gets smushed on that part.
Should have cleaned the outline up. A little rocky on those wings over here, man. I don't know if you drew one side and fold the paper and then bring it out, so it's exactly the same on each side. They just don't look like they really match out.
I got really rushed when it came to the wings, but I really needed to get them in there, I felt like, to have a little bit of the song in the tattoo.
I would have not put myself in a hole where I didn't have enough time to do those fellas' rights, knowing the judge is going to look for outline.
Besides that, the perspective is a little thrown off with this, because it should have been like this, you know? With this one could have been in the back a little bit. That's one thing, but you didn't throw that till the end, and I was still throwing off in the middle when I walked in. And then I realized what the problem was. You didn't lay any outline down. I would have done that really cool front end.
Yeah, I agree with you guys there, for sure.
And then I would have created my perspectives. And at that point, if that's my perspective, I would have ran with it, but I would have made sure I outlined it first, so my perspective is never lost.
I can outline a lot better than that.
Artists, we've heard from the judges. If it's your tattoo that appears on our screen, you've been marked out. Artists, our judges have made a decision. If it's your tattoo that appears on our screen, you've been marked out.
Rex, when it came down to technical, you just didn't have it. Now that you have a little bit of our opinions, maybe it's gonna help you out and lay out things better. But like I said, I do believe that you can make yourself pick this up in the next year or two. All right?
All right. All right, guys. It sucks to be the first person eliminated. I didn't realize pressure would get to me, but it did. Had a good concept for the piece, but it just didn't come out the way I wanted it to come out.
All right, artists, please open your tattoo cases. Your flash art is inspired by the classic breakup song, Guitars Cadillacs by Dwight Yoakam.
I see what are the equivalent of my tattooing arch enemies waiting in front of me. And once again, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this stuff.
You will have a total of 3 hours to sketch your design and complete your tattoo. All right, artists, your time starts now.
Hi! What's your name?
Johanna.
I'm Diane. Nice to meet you. So I've come up with an idea in all of 5 seconds. So what I was thinking is maybe doing like a really pretty like pinup girl, like tipping her hat, and then maybe having like a guitar pick as an earring with like the shape of a Cadillac emblem inside. And luckily Joanna loves it. Perfect.
How you doing, man? My name's Nate.
So I'm Josh. Nice to meet you, Nate.
Nice to meet you, Josh. I know immediately what I'm gonna do. Old 50s Cadillac tail that goes into a guitar.
Is there a way maybe you can incorporate this guitar? That's actually one of my dream guitars.
I want to do a flying V body with the Cadillac tail, morph it into the guitar itself. Josh doesn't play flying V. Well, what I was thinking was bringing that V off and using that as the tail light. And maybe have like the power cord like wrapping around it.
I mean, as long as you can incorporate the guitar somehow, I'm cool with that.
I can probably do
That's fine.
that much.
Yeah.
But we compromise, so we're ready to rock and roll. Fantastic, dude. We got ourselves a deal, man.
What's up, man?
What's up, dude?
Doug.
Jeremy, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, bro. What I'm thinking is we're gonna do like, we'll get like a good view of a caddy.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the smoke coming out of the back, but I'm gonna turn that smoke into like the shape of a guitar, you know what I mean? To incorporate both things.
I like that.
I wanna do something that's really gonna impress the judges. So I start thinking, we put this cool Cadillac on a cool angle, maybe we'll do like some smoke coming out and the smoke forms into a guitar shape, you know? Something like that could be rad, right? I start to draw this design and I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is the same tattoo that I just did. It's another mechanical object with smoke coming out of it. I'm not doing this twice. The last one didn't even go over well. I'm not doing it again.
Half hour, so I gotta go about 10 or 15% smaller. I finished my drawing and we rock and roll. Come on, Big Daddy, let's get this party started.
Check this out, homie. You go do the guitar work. Go research that for real. Go find me a guitar, man. Print one out. Jeremy tells me he's a metal guitarist, so I'm like, dude, how about we do something sick? Let's put a guitar right on your forearm. The body of it is the skull, you know?
All right.
And then the neck comes out, and we could do like the Cadillac wreath kind of deal going around it. This is great, because this is my element now. I'm gonna get to make my own tattoo. I don't have to worry about any reference. I can just pull it all out of my head. Time is definitely not on my side. I've wasted at least 45 minutes on this drawing.
Hi.
How's it going, Professor?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, wonderful. Nice.
I even did some hard outlines for you.
You need to take that home with you, though, not just here.
I do use that at home.
No, just all the time, like all the time. And learn how to hide the lines if you don't like lines, but always use the lines,
well,
even when they're not necessary. Always use them.
Yeah.
But so far, so good.
Thank you.
My man, Dougie.
What's going on, Ami? How you doing?
How's it going, brother?
Good, bro. Try to make this one a little cleaner, you know?
What's the smoky part?
I wanted to do the smoke differently because I already showed you guys smoke before. So I did this more graphic smoke, and I'm gonna fade it down so, you know, to kind of hide the dark. Yep.
Well, you know, the transition is the most important thing when you're doing smoke. And
like,
you did it last time. It was beautiful.
So,
good. Try not to this one up.
I love the tattoo I'm doing. It's a great design, but I'm not gonna win $10,000 if I don't finish this damn thing.
I feel really nervous. Time's speeding up and I still have a pretty good amount to do. I haven't done the hat yet.
I'm completely worried. The other two guys are good, and it could go anybody's way.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, machines down. All right, artists, your skins all had tattoos that had to deal with guitars and Cadillacs. The judges have all had a chance to review your work, but before you hear from them, they want to hear from you. Nathan.
I combined the tail end of an early Cadillac with the gentleman I was tattooing on his actual guitar.
Did a really good job on this. Really creative, man. This concept is really dope and really original. There's a couple of minor things I didn't like about it. It got a little flat right on the chord. I went and did the chord so thick, but it's so flat right here that I probably would have did a little bit more round curvedness on it so you can overlap it.
Yep.
Just to give it a little bit more flow. I like you did put strings in. I know this last time you played, you know, you was talking about the strings, not playing it safe, but you did it smart because you did use this chord to break the strings up, so you had to pull really long lines. It was really smart.
The best part of this tattoo is how creative you got with this tattoo. You actually, I've never seen it done, but it makes sense. I would have probably bolded out the outer line around this thing to make it stand out more because it's so powerful. It's such a cool piece that I would have gone with a really bold outline on it. A little more bold than what you did.
So Nathan, this is the first time you're seeing your piece up there on the big screen. Do you like how it came out?
All in all, yeah, I'm pretty pleased.
I like that you had an opportunity to grow on the criticism the judges gave you about the strings and try a different approach. It's very clear, the interpretation of the Cadillac and the guitars. I think you pulled off a really interesting concept and thought outside the box, and I think you did a really good job.
Thank you.
Doug?
Initially, I drew up a Cadillac with smoke coming out of the back, and the smoke was in the shape of a guitar, and I started drawing it. I was like 10 minutes in, I was like, man, it's the same tattoo I just did. So I scratched that, and I went over to him, and I was like, hey, how would you feel about like a skull guitar or something like that? And he was into it. So this is what we came up with. I tried to do what I could as far as incorporating the Cadillac. We got the keyhole and the wreath.
I really like this tattoo. It's super solid, great line work, which we didn't see from you for the first round. It's got this cool idea, but what I see here is a skull and smoke. And the vertebrae got lost and the leaves got lost within the smoke because there's so much smoke.
The reason I used so much smoke was initially I was planning to run strings, so I was stealing your guys' advice for Nate from the last round to kind of cloud that. But then once I saw the size that we were going at on his arm, how thin it was going to be, I just decided to scratch the strings for clarity's sake.
The little smoke can go a long way. You're like, the worst is when someone is like, is that a cover-up or is that an original? And you're like, no, it's an original. It's like, so to have so much dark going on there.
Yes, ma'am.
I like the idea with the smoke and how it flows with it, but the smoke is in the front of everything. I probably would have let the vertebrae go in front of the smoke on this side, and maybe in the front right here. You want to weave it in,
yes,
you know?
Sir.
So you got some in the front ground and some in the background. Right. So you can see the smoke going around it, almost like it's twisted instead of just in the front, like a mist. But everything else is pretty good, man. This is really, really nice.
Thanks, man.
Diane, please tell the judges about your tattoo.
So I wanted to do kind of the feel of the Cadillac wreath around her to kind of give her a frame. And I gave her a little guitar pick as an earring. And the song that this is actually about is a sad song about a guy getting his heart broken. So I kind of like made her like the girl that broke his heart, like tipping her hat goodbye.
I appreciate the softness of it. It can be a little bit different sometimes, a woman's perspective of how to tattoo a woman on a woman and not make it look trashy. I do find it gets a little bit crowded in the space, but I like your guitar pick use. I like that you were symbolic in using the Cadillac and guitar instead of having to be so in your face blatant with the theme. It's really nice.
Thank you.
It's really graceful and it's really ladylike. When I was noticing you doing the work, what I liked the kind of the best about it, and you kind of lost it a little bit for me on the piece, was that you had the hand almost floating.
The arm definitely is coming out of the middle of her chest. So before you ever start putting arms, always build the back of the neck, where are the shoulders going, and then figure out where in perspective is that hand gonna come out of.
I noticed you did a hat again. Which is cool, no problem. But that first hat that you did,
I know.
Yeah, it was so much better because of the blackness. Now, if you look at it from a distance, so light.
It is still country. And when you think of country music, you're gonna put a cowboy hat on anything, even a frog gets one. You just approach the shading wrong. Unless you're gonna put a highlight in the back, let the back be darker. It's gonna give you contrast. It's gonna also establish the values in your tattoo.
Artists, we've heard from the judges. If it's your tattoo that shows up on the screen, you've been marked out of the competition. Artists, the judges have made a decision. If it's your tattoo that shows up on the screen, you've been marked out of the competition. Doug, I'm sorry, you've been marked out.
Doug, we had to make a decision only and solely about your technical tattoo. You smoked us out. And when it came down to technical, you just didn't have it.
Thank you guys for everything. I appreciate your advice. I'm gonna take it all into account. It hurts, man. You don't want anybody to ever reject anything you do. But at the same time, I did a tattoo that maybe wasn't the best today, but I still think I did something that's pretty good. And I don't think I'm walking out of here looking like a slob.
Congratulations, Diane and Nathan. You've made it to the final round.
I have to bring it to beat Nathan in this final round. Nathan is going to be a tough competitor. He's here to win just like I'm here to win. I'm going for the gold.
Inside your tattoo cases, the judges have left you a little something to show you which style you'll be working with.
American traditional. We're gonna challenge you guys to do a great traditional piece. That means one line pass. Every line has to be perfect one time.
and you had a minimum of color use. You didn't have none of the fancy colors you got today. I'm not gonna tell you the colors. Do your own research and see what colors they had and what colors they didn't have in these days.
So in addition to the American traditional designs, I want you to incorporate hatch print lettering into your tattoo.
You're gonna be judged on all these things. Good luck, and I hope you surprise me.
You'll have 4 hours to sketch your design and complete your tattoo. Your time starts now.
Hi, what's your name?
Jason.
Nice to meet you.
Cool.
Okay, so what are you thinking about getting done?
I was thinking about doing like a traditional lighthouse from where I grew up.
He has a very specific lighthouse that he wants, so I kind of have to change that to be a traditional tattoo. Maybe we can do like some kind of rope frame or something, like a
That'd be cool.
like an anchor or something coming off of it.
How you doing, my man? My name's Nathan.
Derek, nice to meet you.
Derek, nice to meet you. This is American traditional. I meet my skin Derek. He throws me a couple ideas.
Now, what about maybe something Sailor Jerry, or even like an anchor?
The anchor is the symbol of the all-American traditional tattoo style. I'm going into this with something that I know is a timeless icon of traditional tattooing, and I gotta put my own spin on it. This is gonna be difficult.
This is a straight-on perspective. I don't want to do too much. I'm working on the drawing and kind of balancing out the tallness of the lighthouse with filling up space is pretty difficult.
What colors do you think about doing?
I can't say right now.
I already know what colors traditional are.
Really? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive. Black, green, yellow,
blue.
red, blue.
That's it.
Yep. I know he knows that. We're not dumb. I take a lot of time on this drawing because you can't make any mistakes. Traditional is so straightforward and simple, but perfect. You have to do it perfect.
That's a really bad spot.
We're almost done here with the outline. When tattooing traditional tattoos, you do what is called a single pass line, where you have a large round liner, I got this, and you only do one pass. You only get one shot, so you better get your together.
Professor D,
Hi.
how's it going?
Well, I think we will be done on time.
You're definitely gonna be done. It's traditional. It was meant to be done in an hour. Whip. You ever whip shaded?
I know, I was just doing that.
No, but on those, you should just kind of like what.
Like.
Yeah, exactly. So you get that old traditional feel of whipping.
Okay.
Exactly.
Amin's visit's extremely helpful. He gives me some really good pointers with how to whip shade, which I have never done. All right.
We'll see you soon, Professor.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. James.
What's going on, Red?
I may have went a little big and I may not finish it.
Oh, you're gonna finish it. You
But
better finish it. That's all I can say.
even if I don't, I still got it in the bag.
You think so?
Yes, sir.
I'm not doubting you,
Uh-huh.
but I'm a little doubting that you'll pull this off one time. Have fun.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about doing red shading in the sky?
If you have time.
With 1 hour left, I still have to pack in the color, so I'm feeling a little pressured for time.
In the final moments of the tattoo, I'm sweating hard. This is getting down to the wire.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, machines down. Artists, say goodbye to your skins.
Pleasure.
Later, man.
Take it easy. Thank you very much. For some silly-ass reason, I decided to do the biggest tattoo of the entire competition. And I started to think, I went too big. I'm screwed.
Nathan and Diane, you each had to do a traditional American tattoo and incorporate hatch print into the design. The judges have all had a chance to review your work, but before you hear from them, they want to hear from you. Nathan.
You gotta know what you're doing, and you gotta know what colors to use, what shaders, what liners to use, and it just so happens that I kinda knew what I was doing.
Really clean, really crisp. I love the line work on this piece. What I don't like about it, though, I wish maybe you would have did the anchor a little smaller because his arm was so small, it wraps around so much. So if you look at it front view, the wood piece is maybe the focal point of it. It's so much empty space in here. I know you did the filler with the dots and the stars. It's just floating, almost look like 3 separate tattoos. But your color you used beautiful colors, man. I like the old school shading that you did in the banners. That, you know, just speaks to me. You caught that era perfectly.
I think the rope is really beautiful. I love the details, the colors, nailed it. Your lettering looks nice. But here in this section, I have a little bit of problem with the negative space here. At the time you committed to the stars and dots, so you didn't have a lot of choice once you went with that. But overall, good job.
Thank you, Amy.
I think I would have probably brought this banner a lot closer to this and maybe gone down with it, brought it in the back, maybe come through with this one. They tied it all in and made it look like one piece. The rope, one of the coolest ropes I've seen for a long time. I wish I would have seen a lot more of it through this tattoo and maybe fill in some of that area in the back. All in all, it's the way I'd like to see traditional, even though I would have liked to smush it a bit.
Diane?
The guy grew up in Virginia Beach. He wanted a very specific lighthouse, so we made that the focal point. It was suiting to put a frame around this, and I mean, what goes with the ocean ropes, of course, from anchors.
You take direction amazingly. Like, to watch your pieces grow throughout the competition has been really cool to see that. We were really impressed. I saw your face when we hit with American Traditional, and I was like, oh no, she's out of it. But it's really nicely composed all together. It's framed out nice with the rope. I think you did a really great job, and I think you should be proud of it.
Thank you.
You took a reference of a real-life photograph and you turned it into traditional, which I give you an applaud for that, because that takes a real artist to be able to do something like that. I like that you used rope to frame everything in.
Professor D.
Hi.
You're really surprising me today. For somebody that's probably never whip shaded, you did some of the smoothest whip shading I've ever seen around these things. And it's a really beautiful tattoo.
Thank you.
With that being said, canary yellow did not exist. Blue didn't exist in the beginning. So to try to get something very authentic looking, stick to the basic colors that were there, and you'll always get that really authentic feel, because guess what? You don't have no choice. But as an overall tattoo, you did a great job. You surprised the hell out of me. So it's a tight competition.
Artists, now I'm gonna ask you to exit the tattoo shop while the judges decide who's walking away with $10,000 and the title of Tattoo Titan.
This is gonna be the tough choice we're gonna have to make right now.
Yeah, they both did really clean work.
I think all three of us know when it comes down to the more authentic style tattoo and hit the points we asked for.
Right.
Two beautiful tattoos there.
So, judges, have you reached a decision?
Yeah, we got it.
All right, let's bring the artist back in. Artists, our judges have made a decision. If it's your tattoo that appears on the screen, you are the next Tattoo Titan walking away with $10,000.
Yeah!
Congratulations, Nathan.
Diane, the challenge was traditional, and fundamentally, one tattoo was right on.
In traditional, it didn't use the color blue, but you really did a really good tattoo. You should be really proud of yourself.
Thank you guys so much. Like, amazing opportunity. I feel sad about not winning the $10,000, but I feel proud what I accomplished. The toughest part about not winning is disappointment for myself.
Congratulations, Nathan. You are a Tattoo Titan walking away with $10,000. Congratulations.
For the first time in a long time, I'm really proud of myself because I busted my ass and did what needed to be done to win this competition. I am a Tattoo Titan.
Kentucky is back.
Yeah! You ready?
I want that thing to go boom.
Yeah!
That's a bad boy, son, right there.
If you can get the big air, you can get the big explosion.
We need some of them left-handed bullets.
Sorry.
You guys are just not right.
Don't miss the new season of Gun-tucky. Saturday, April 5th at 9, 8 Central on CMT.
That's a way to start the day.